level or a traversal, we will be traversing the trees by its levels. So like this, first 1 and then 2 3, that is the second level, and then 4 5 6 7, that is the third level. And we would be doing this with the help of the queue data structure, which is based on the first in first out principle, right? So what we are going to do is that at first we are going to push the root into the queue, that is the 1, and this is the root of the binary tree. This is the root of the binary tree. And then after pushing it into the queue, what we are going to do is that we are going to store it in a pointer to the node type of variable, and we have named it as temp. So we are going to store the address of 1 in it, and then we are going to pop it out of the queue. Now after storing it in the temp, what we are going to do is that we are going to check whether 1 has a left node and a right node. So we are going to see that whether the pointer has a left node and a right node, and we see that yes, it has a left node and a right node. So we are going to push the left node in it and the right node in it, right? So the queue looks like this. Now again, what we are going to do is that we are going to take the front element of the queue, that is 2, into the temp, and again we are going to perform the similar checks. So now the pointer shifts to 2. Now we are going to check that whether 2 has a left node and a right node. Now yes, we can see that it has a left node and a right node. So what we are going to do is that we are going to push the left node and the right node of 2. So after doing so, and popping out 2 from the queue, we are going to take 3 here, the front element of the queue, right? So again the pointer shifts to 3, and it checks that whether it has a left element and a right element. Yes, it has a left element and a right element. So what we are going to do is that we are going to push the left element and the right element into the queue, and 3 gets popped out. So what the new array become is 4 5 6 and 7. So again, in the place of 3, the front element of the queue 4 gets placed in it, and now the pointer shifts to 4, and it checks that whether it has a left element and a right element. No, it doesn't have, so this is null. And so the 4 gets popped out and nothing gets added to the queue. Now the pointer shifts to 5, and we are going to check that yes, nothing is there, it's null again. So the 5 gets popped out and nothing gets added to the queue. Now 6, the pointer shifts to 6, so it's the same thing, we have nothing. And 7, and finally both of them are popped out. So this whole process continues until the queue becomes empty, and as soon as the queue becomes empty, the process terminates, right? Yes, so that's how the traversal is done, right? So now how do we store the values, and how do we detect actually that this is the level and these are the values stored in the level, right? So what we are going to do is that we are going to initiate some arrays, and the arrays would be of size of the initial size of the queues, right? So these are the elements added after the checking. So the initial size before the checking was 1, so this is 1, and this and this element will be directed to this array, would be pushed to this array. So this is it. And for this queue, this 2 and 3 would be pushed to this array, and for this stage the initial array size was 2, and for this stage the initial array size is 4, right? So in this stage this whole thing is going to be pushed into this array, right? So similarly, this array gets pushed into another array, the main array. This gets pushed into the main array after this. This gets pushed into the main array after this. So this is how we get the total representation of the binary tree. The total representation of the binary tree stands level wise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is level 1, this is level 2, and this is level 3. So let's just shift to the code now. So here what is going to happen is that the root gets pushed into the queue, and this gets stored, the address of this gets stored in the temp, and then the checking occurs whether there is a left node and a right node. If there is a left node and a right node, then it gets added to the queue, and the level is the array of the size of the initial queue, that is 1, and the value of the temp, that is the value of the pointer, gets stored, that is 1, and finally this level gets pushed into the main array, right? So similarly like this, what will happen is that like this we get the 3 levels. uh, so I just hope that you like the video, and I just hope that this had helped. So please support this channel, and please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.